yeah. So how my life's going. Regressed a bit. Or I figured it might be. One way to start is me drinking Trader Joe's white grape juice. Wish I was sponsored, but 3 people know me, and I'd like to pretend that not all of them are in my actual physical life, but I'm pathetic, so I need to acknowledge it. It's just well known. Anyway, so it's been a while, I'm aware, and well, I'd like to have a good reason other than just my brain decides not to work sometimes. Glasses clear. That's nice. Stop, please. Nobody asked for you to do that. Nobody invited you. Anyways. Yeah, so the ADHD meds are still kicking in, so this is going to be very interesting. Also trying a new camera that seems to want to zoom into my face. Reason number 1 for why I will probably have horrible lighting for ever. Anyway, so I figured today is a good day to start with an explanation on one of the things related to autism, which is a fun little thing called executive dysfunction, which is basically, in summary, this is the best way I've figured out how to explain it, like in one sentence, is I need to do it, I want to do it, but I just can't. It sounds like BS, but it's not. It's a real thing that happens where you genuinely need to do something. The minute I found out that this was a real thing, it was like my life was explained, because for the longest time I couldn't figure out why when I knew I needed to do something and I genuinely wanted to. Like, even if it was homework, like it's not like I wanted to, but it was like, well, that's rude. I don't know if you can hear it, but for some reason my apartment seems to think that the hedges just don't work properly. I'm really fascinated on how they still exist with how many times they actually Okay, anyways, back to the topic. ADHD at its finest. Executive dysfunction. So yes, when I first figured out that this was a thing, it was like mind blown. Suddenly I hate myself like 2% less. But yeah, that it's a hard to understand concept when you don't have it, because it literally just sounds like somebody's trying to have an excuse for not wanting to do something, for wanting to be lazy or something like that. But it's not, because what ends up happening is this constant cycle of, why can't I do it? I want to do it. I want to get up right now and do it, but I just can't. And then you start to think you're lazy, or you start to have, in some cases, you end up with self-esteem issues. With my case, bit of sociopath, it's more like less of self-esteem, more of frustration as to why my brain has just decided I'm not allowed to do things that I need to do, like, calling into important things, and like things that have deadlines, and I know there's a deadline, and it's not like I can't keep up with the deadline. That's not it. Like, it's not like with tests where I don't have enough time. It's just, it starts to make you feel like you'll never be able to do things on your own because you can't seem to get yourself to do it. No matter how many times people remind you, it doesn't really make a difference in the end, because it's not about remembering. You know you need to do it, and that's constantly on your mind. It's just, it's like your brain is saying no. And I want to have a better explanation for this. I want to have something to make it like easier to understand, or something that maybe like neurotypicals. I say that with quotation marks because everybody's a little different. But when I'm going to say neurotypicals, let's just take it as someone who doesn't have my specific case, or cases related to the psychiatric and neurological ones that I'm referring to. So just from now on, if I say neurotypical, I am just referring to the cases in which they are quote-unquote normal by the standards of not having what I'm explaining. So the base explanation is you want to do it, but your brain is saying no for no apparent reason. They can't, like the scientific part behind it is generally there is an issue with the frontal lobes, or usually frontal lobes where complex thinking decisions, basically it's the part of the brain that you make all the decisions in, mostly, and that you it's the part of your brain where you're doing life, thinking about life, organizing life, like not done ruining all the things in your life. Not to say that you'll ruin everything, but to say like that's complex thinking, decisions, all that planning. It's basically the place where when you have executive dysfunction, usually that's basically where like something's not quite working right there. Like somebody's having a bad day, decided to quit, boss is pissed off in your brain. It's that type of thing where just things aren't working. I'm gonna take off my glasses because they're glaring a lot. Okay, so yeah, so that's been making things very difficult because it's like literally with my schoolwork, I genuinely try to do it. I want to do it. I know I need to. I can get up, I can open the computer, which is a miracle if I manage to get myself out of bed. And I'm not depressed. It's not like the depression where you're like, I can't get myself out of bed. It's where you're just like, I don't feel depressed necessarily. Maybe in the case where you're having it without the depression, because that can happen, that's fine. And you're just like, why can't I do this? It can be a simple thing like just doing the laundry. Why can't I get myself to get up and go do the laundry? It's not the end of the world. It's not something really difficult. Like why? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do the normal shit that everybody does? And that's the most frustrating part, because especially when you're trying to be independent, when you're just looking at yourself, and the worst thing to do is to compare yourself. So if you're ever having something like that, don't compare yourself. I hope I've explained this a little bit better. Like, there's probably way better explanations, and I'm gonna get things more organized. This is more of something that just popped into my head, and I wanted to explain it. So basically, I know I've been wanting to make a video. This isn't something that's like doing trigonometry homework where you're just like, I want to die, but it's not. It's something I do enjoy. It's something that I have been wanting to progress more in, but I haven't been able to because my brain just kind of says no. And this isn't exclusive to YouTube. It's everything in my life. Laundry, chores, getting up. And then I'll randomly be able to get up, but I just, it's like, I'll do something completely different, like go to a witchy shop instead of like doing my homework, and it's frustrating. I just wish I could do the things that I need to do, but I can't. Oh, that looks creepy. Look at the giant hands. Anyways, it gets very frustrating. It's a real thing. I wish there was a better way to explain it to people who don't understand. I know I've said that a lot. I'll try to organize things better with the scientific things, but some of these are just going to be as my life goes on, what comes up. Like the last time, sensory overload with the stupid LED lights. Just not going to get into that. I mean in the cars. Anyways, the headlights. Anyways. So yeah, that's been a big reason why I've taken so long to do this. And I've said I want to have a schedule, but realistically, if I force myself in my head to think, oh my god, I have to worry about making a schedule, it's going to make me less likely to do it. So yeah, that's basically a summary of what it is. Also, another like little, I always hear a siren around the same time every day, and it's a little concerning. That's really cool. Don't smell gas or see a fire, so I'm gonna assume not really bad. Anyways, yeah. So one other thing I wanted to explain was related to procrastination. One thing about procrastination, from what I've like researched, is that one thing it's related to is kind of a self-esteem, where you're second-guessing yourself. And it's almost like you don't want to do something until the very last minute, because then you have a reason for if it's not as good as you wanted it to be. Because everybody screws up, everybody does some things wrong. And when you're autistic or ADHD or whatever thing that's not neurotypical, it's like it's not something you can explain as well. So maybe if you've grown up with it being a taboo subject, anything psychological, or people don't believe you, you're like, hey, here's a reason, I just didn't have enough time. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, I could do better theoretically. But then you have that thing in your head that allows you to, like, and even if you didn't make a mistake, like, you maybe you would have done it fine if it were, like, if you started early. But sometimes when you start early, what's happened with me is that I don't do as well, because I start to think, oh, I've got all this time. Odd for someone who used to get test anxiety. I don't know if I still do. My test anxiety seemed to be very, like, related to math, but that was because I was often explained not being good at it, even though it's like IQ tests. Anyways, not gonna explain some other things that I'm bitter about. Eventually I should make a video just listing things that I'm bitter about, but that would probably be about 40 hours long, or a few weeks, give or take. Anyways, yeah, so that's the thing that was on my mind for today, and that's what I decided to talk about. If the audio or video is kind of crappy, excuse that. I'm still trying to get my setup to work. You don't want to see it right now. It's kind of interesting. Thankfully, I have some decent microphones, and I finally got a camera, which is a Logitech something rather. I just went in and tried to find the most decent cheap one, because I'm a college student and I don't have a lot of money. So it's kind of a default thing usually, especially. I go to community college, so let's just assume that I'm not loaded. Yeah, my crappy apartment says that too. I hate it here. Anyways, so that's basically it. I've got some other life updates. Maybe I'll release another video, because this one's already like 11 minutes. I usually like to keep them around 10 minutes. If there's anyone in the comments who has some ideas, if that's too long, too short, let me know, because I could really keep rambling forever. So maybe I'll break it down into a couple of videos. Why are you doing this? Why? Yeah, new hair, lots of life updates. I went on a road trip. Talk about that more later, but this was just what's on my mind, and hopefully it explains some things. And in the future, if I disappear, that's a good reason why, for the 3 people or no one that's actually watching this, but maybe eventually more people will. Please, if anybody's there, spread the message. I really try. And I really do want to spread some sort of message, whatever it is, just maybe get people to understand some things a bit better. Not an excuse, it's an explanation. Doesn't make it better, then I sometimes miss important things, but whatever I miss, if anybody's noticed in my life, I try to make it clear. It's like, you see me miss it or something, but do you see the genuine effort that I put in to make up for it when my brain decides to let me? It's not a conscious thing. It's not you saying, just screw it, I don't need to do it. It's just something that stops you. It's the end of it. But yeah, it's just a part of me, and it's something I gotta deal with. Probably need to find some better ways to deal with it, but I'm working on it, one day at a time. So yeah, glad I at least get this out, something productive. Oh, we're almost up to 50 minutes. Okay, I guess this is a bit longer. So that's it for today. Now my throat hurts. It's actually really good. Anyone with a Trader Joe's nearby should try this. And if you don't have that, or like anyone, I like juice boxes, because also, like, they're really much more natural when they're for, like, toddlers, but also it's a nice amount of juice. But yeah, try white grape juice. Try Trader Joe's white grape juice. Joe's kids jokes. I can't. I'm trying to read the joke. It's just not working. Anyways, so that's it for now. See you guys later. Try white grape juice, and gotta figure out how to title this. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, maybe you'll see me make a new video soon. I will try. I will genuinely try. So, bye for now. See you all later. Just subscribe, like button. Leave me comments, please. I really want to see comments. Anyone comment, say something, any advice or whatever your ideas you just have in your head. But yeah. So, okay, this time finally. Bye.